Good afternoon all. Myself Manoj Bundela, Assistant Professor Suresh Gyan Vihar University, Jaipur, Rajasthan. So, in continuation of our last presentation, in this presentation we will continue the factors responsible for the deterioration of harvested fruits and vegetables and chemical used for harvesting and delaying the ripening of fruits and vegetables. So first we will discuss the factor responsible for deterioration of harvested fruits and vegetables. There are two types of causes. First one is primary causes, second one is chemical causes. Primary causes of losses are those are directly affect the food. Primary means they are directly affect to the food, like enzymatic changes. Enzymes which are undergoes to a plant tissue can have undesirable or desirable consequences. Examples involved in enzymatic changes include the post-harvest spoilage of fruits and vegetables, means due to the change in the enzyme activities, the loss fruit harvest losses will be occurs. Oxidation of phenolic substance into the plant tissue by phenolase leading to browning, means due to development of phenolic compound, the color of the fruits will be start change into the brown color. Browning will be occurs. Next, sugar starts conversion in plant tissue by amylase. So amylase enzyme is responsible for the change into the sugar into the starch. Post-harvest demethylation of pectin substance in plant tissue, leading to the softening of the plant tissue during ripening and firming of plant tissue during processing. Means due to the development of demethylation, due to the process of demethylation, what will happen? The tissue of the fruits will get softening, means they will start softening, and during the time of processing, the firming will be stopped. The major factors useful in controlling the enzymatic activities are temperature, water activity, pH, chemical which can be inhibit the enzyme action. So next is chemical changes. Second one is chemical changes. In primary changes only, second one is chemical changes. Chemical changes in that involve the sensory quality. The two major chemicals used which are occurs during the processing and storage of foods and vegetables and lead to the deterioration in the sensory quality are lipid oxidation and non-enzymatic browning. These are two. First one is lipid oxidation and second one is non-enzymatic browning. Chemical reactions are also responsible for changes in the color and flavor of foods during the processing and storage. Lipid oxidation rate and cause of reaction is influenced by light, local oxygen concentration, high temperature, the presence of catalyst, generally transi- generally transition metals such as iron and copper, and water activity. Control of these factors are significantly reduce the extent of lipid oxidation in foods. Non-enzymatic browning is one of the major causes of deterioration which occurs during the storage of dried and concentrated foods. Second one is color changes. Almost any type of food processing or storage causes some deterioration of the chlorophyll pigments. This reaction is accelerated by heat and is acid catalyst. Flavor changes. In fruits and vegetables, enzymatically generated compounds derived from the long-chain fatty acids play an extremely important role in formation of characteristic flavor. In addition, these type of reactions can lead to significant of flavor. The permeability of the packaging material is of importance in retaining desirable volatile compound within packets or in permitting the undesirable compound to permeate through the package from the ambient atmosphere. Fourth one is nutritional quality. The four major factors which affect the nutritional degradation can be controlled by varying extent of packaging are light, oxygen concentration, temperature, and water activity. These are the affected by the nutritional quality. Next, third one is physical changes. Physical changes means one major undesirable physical changes in food is absorption of moisture as a consequence of an inadequate berries provided by the package. This result in this result in aching. It can occur either as a result of poor selection of packaging material in the first place or failure of packaging integrity during storage. In generally, moisture absorption is associated with the increased consequences. So these are the physical changes. Means physically, changes will be occurs. Next is biological changes. In biological changes, first is microbiological. So microorganisms can make both desirable and undesirable changes to the quality of foods depending on the weather or depending on the weather not they are introduced as an essential part of the food preservation process or arise unintentionally and subsequently grow to produce the food spoilage. The two major groups of microorganisms found in foods are bacteria and fungi. The later, the consistency of yeast and mold, bacteria are generally faster growing, so that in condition favorable to both bacteria will usually outgrow fungi. Foods are frequently classified on the basis of their stability or as non-perishable and perishable and perishable. Non-perishable, semi-perishable and perishable. Perishable commodity means they will means they take very less time. After, after very less time they will spoilage will be occurs. Semi-perishable means we can store them for some period of the time. Non-perishable means we can store them for a longer period of the time. The protection of packed food from contamination or attack by microorganisms depends on the mechanical integrity of package, or we can say the absence of wax and seal imperfections, and on the resistance of package to penetrate by the penetration of microorganisms. Second one is macrobiological factors. In macrobiological, there is a two types. One is insect pest. The warm and humid environment promotes the insect growth, although most insects will not breed if the temperature exists above 435 degrees centigrade or falls below 10 degrees centigrade. Means maximum insect pest they are active in 10 to 35 degrees centigrade temperature. Also, many insects cannot reproduce satisfactorily unless the moisture content of their food is greater than 11%. Second one is rodents. Rodents means rat and mice carries a disease-producing organisms on their feet or in their intestinal tract, and they are known to be harbor salmonella of serotypes frequently associated with the foodborne infections in human beings. Next is secondary causes of post-harvest losses. In secondary causes, those leads to the condition that encourage the primary causes of losses such as inadequate harvesting, packaging, and handling skill. Means if we not harvest the fruits and vegetables in a proper manner, and if we not give a proper packaging facilities, there is a cause of losses. Lack of adequate containers for the transportation and handling of perishable foods means for a particular fruits and vegetables we require a particular type of containers we use. If that type of containers are not available, then it is very difficult to transport from one area to the another area and it will get damaged. Next is storage facilities inadequate to protect the food. Means the storage facilities are not available to protect the foods. Transportation inadequate to move the food to market before it spoils. Means transportation facilities means when we go for transportation of foods from the market, we have to take care that we have to transport in a proper manner. Inadequate refrigerated storage we can use inadequate drying equipment and poor drying season means if we not use the particular drying equipments or the poor drying season we can use that time also there is a cause of losses also. Traditional processing and marketing system. If we use the traditional method of processing and marketing, then it will also cause the responsible for the high losses. Legal standards and affect the retention, rejection of the foods from the human uses. Next is knowledge of management is essential for maintaining tools in good condition during the marketing and storage. Bumper crops can overload the post-harvest handling system or adjust the consumption need and causes excessive wastage. Next one is site of losses. There is a different sites of losses are there. The losses may be occurs anywhere from the point where the foods are being harvested and gathered up to the point of consumption. Means from harvesting of the fruits to the reaches to the consumers. So till that there is so many sites are there from that losses is there. The losses can be occurs during one of the following process. The first is during the time of harvesting. The separation of the commodity from the plant that produce it means when we separate a commodity from the plant means just like mango plant. From mango plant we will harvest the mango. During the time of harvesting also there is a losses of that. They will fall down, losing will be occurs. So that is also comes under the losses. Second is preparation. After harvesting we have to sell them means we have to transport them from one area to the another area. So while doing transportation from the one area to the another area, that time also losses will be occurred. Similarly, separation and extraction of the edible from the non-edible portion. In that, sometime when we harvest, so some fruits they are edible, some fruits are not edible. So we will separate them. So that is also comes under the losses. Next is preservation. The preservation of loss and spoilage of the foods. For example, the sun drying of the fruits, the use of refrigeration and the use of fungicides to inhibit the mold growth in the foods. Third, fourth one is processing. The conversion of the edible food into the another form more acceptable and more convenient to the consumers. For example, the manufacture of fruit juice and canning of fruits and vegetables. So during the time of processing means from the we will prepare a different processed product from the fruits and vegetables. So that time also there is a losses are there. Means we will not process the all fruits. Then some fruits are damaged. Then some fruits are disease affected. We remove that. So that is comes under the post harvest process. Next is storage. So the holding of foods until the consumption means from until the consumption means till it to the reaches to the consumer. Till that we have to keep the foods in storage house. The most storage is common storage, ambient temperature, but there are extensive storage capacities that can hold food under refrigerated or controlled atmospheric conditions. Transportation. All forms of transportation are used to convey the foods from the point of production to the ultimate point of consumption. Means we transport the fruits from one area to the another area. Means point of production to the consumption we will transport. During the time of transportation, the road facilities are not available due to the unavailability of road facilities and road. The fruits will be get damaged and it is not accepted by the consumers. Next is chemical used for harvesting and delaying the ripening of fruits and vegetables. The fruits, as we know that fruits play a vital role in nutrition and they are rich source of vitamin, minerals, fibers, dietary fibers, different important carotenoids like lycopene, beta carotene, xanthophyll, flavonoids, phenolic and other phytochemicals. On this, they are good source of antioxidant, anti-carcinogenic, anti-mutagenic activities. Carotenoids contain phytochemical provide the protection against the chronic disease state. Different type of cancers, macular or cardiac vascular disease, and age-related to alignments. World Health Organization recommended daily per capita consumption of fruits and vegetables is a total of 400 grams for a healthy person. So, as we know that WHO has released some guidelines that too much quantity of fruits and vegetables we have to eat daily, but it is not available for the all because some people are very poor. Sometimes what will happen there is a more losses are there. The losses are so much losses are there fruits and vegetables. The availability is so much is there, but the losses are more. So if we control the losses of fruits and vegetables, so that it will be available for the each and every person. Next is concept of delaying fruit ripening. Ripening, as we know, that ripening is a natural process that brings a series of biochemical changes which are responsible for the changes of color, pigment formation, starch breakdown, textural changes, volatile and aroma development, and finally absence of the fruits. Means from the harvesting of the fruits, the changes will be started until it will go to the senescence till there is a changes in the fruits. So ethylene is a natural plant growth hormone. As we know that ethylene is present in fruits like in banana, apple. So we will harvest the unripe banana also. It will get ripened due to the production of ethylene. So ethylene is क्या Ethylene is work as a natural plant growth hormone, having the numerous effects on the plant growth and development besides the regulatory role in the ripening process of climatic foods. Plant cells contain ethylene binding recip- receptors that has an ethylene binding site, which get activated by the ethylene and triggers the ripening actions of fruits. Receptacles bound ethylene molecules initiate a series of interactions by propagate by propagating the chemical signals inside the fruit cells. These molecules interactions result in the ripening of the fruits by changing the color, flavor, aroma, consumption of the fruits, water content, starch content, and sugar content. These are the different changes occurs during the ripening of the fruits. However, ethylene was also reported act as a rheostat rather than a trigger for the climatic fruits ripening, which impulse the ethylene must be present continuously in order to maintain the transcript, transcription of necessary genes required for fruit ripening. To slow down the ripening process of fresh fruits, to increase the shelf life of climatic fruits, it is needed to inhibit or slow down the action of ethylene gas. Some chemicals were found to block the response of basal level of ethylene in fruits and thus delay the natural ripening process significantly. These ethylene inhibitors react with the ethylene receptors and inhibit the action of ethylene. Therefore, the signals are not propagated for the downstream interactions and thus the ripening process is delayed. So means if we use the ethylene is used as a ripening. So if we want to reduce the ripening process, so what we have to do, just like in fruits and vegetables, they will take oxygen and release the carbon dioxide. So if we want to stop that, what we have to do, we have to increase the carbon dioxide content. So the respiration process will be stopped and we can from that for longer period of the time. The chemical may be broadly classified into that person and those that delay the ripening. First one is those we are delay the ripening and those which are means those which are increase the ripening process. They include the whole category of plant hormone, absorbents, waxes, and other substances. Except CH2H4 action of each generally indirect. Chemicals that accelerated ripening, like abscissine ABA. Application of abscissine accelerated the senescence in detached fruits and leaves. Abscisic acid treatment of organs result into the accelerated breakdown of chlorophyll and increase the synthesis of carotenoids. Ripening of banana slices was also accelerated by APA, means ripening became increased by the application of APA. Ascorbic acid and hydroxy hydroxyethyl hormone hydrogen. Abscisic acid EDTA, cupric ethylene diamine tetracetate, and BOS were found to include C2H4 formation when spreaded before harvest. Next is acetylene and calcium carbide. Calcium carbide is combination with moisture produce the ethylene which mimics the ethylene and result in fruit ripening. Alcohol. It is reported that among the several alcohols such as ethylene, hexanol, octanol, heptanol used in deep treatment of green tomatoes prior to the ripening. Hexanol mimics the same to accelerate the ripening of tomato fruits. Fatty acid olerification has been known as a practice to hasten the fig fruit maturation. By fatty acid oxidation in the cells of fruits, acetylide C2H4 are derived which are volatile substances and hence induce the enzymatic activity for the early ripening. Ethylene and ethyl bridging compound. Ethylene is responsible for the both ripening and degreening of fruits and vegetables. Next is chemicals that used for the Bundela ripening. Next, methyl cyclopropane. Methyl cyclopropane was reported to inhibit the ethylene action more effective and it can be used to delay the ripening process of various climatic fruits. Next is kinins or chitins. These chemicals are shown to delay the chlorophyll degradation of leafy vegetables like spinach, peppers, beans, cucumber, and others. The growth effect is retardation of yellowing by maintaining the high protein level on the applied tissue. Next is salicylic acid is a ubiquitous plant phenolic compound that regulates a number of processes in plants and it is an important compound in the signal transduction pathway. Salicylic acid was found to inhibit the ethylene action on different climatic fruits. It was reported to delay the banana fruit ripening effectively. The major enzymatic antioxidant, namely catalyst or peroxidase, was also found to be reduced in presence of salicylic acid during the ripening process. The pre-harvest and post-harvest application of salicylic acid can effectively maintain the quality of fruits during the post-harvest storage. Some auxin like CIPA and NOA. Pre-harvest foliar application of CIPA 25 ppm delay the physicochemical deterioration of Kurg mandarin in storage. The chemical also improves the storage and also reduces the wet loss and retention of vitamin C during the storage conditions. Next is growth retardants, malic anhydride. The effective malic anhydride on the ripening process varies with the different type of fruits and may depend on the application time and amount of chemical use. The harvesting of mangoes dipped into the 1000 to 2000 ppm of malic anhydride delay the ripening and in case of potatoes, onion, radish, sugar beet, turnip, carrot, potatoes. We can reduce the sprouting by use of malic anhydride. So malic anhydride is also used to reduce the to control the ripening of the mangoes and to reduce the sprouting in onion beetroot. Gibberellic acid. Gibberellic acid is a natural occurring plant growth hormones found in the tissue, most plant tissue. It involved in the physiological process such as flowering, seed set, and fruit development. And it is used in selected horticultural crops to maintain the flowering and fruit development. It was found that GA3 delayed the anthocyanin synthesis and chlorophyll degradation. The post-harvest treatment of GA3 increased the quality of different climatic fruits. GA3 treatment it seems to be effective in reducing the sustainable susceptibility of the fruits under the unexpected mechanical damage. The post-harvest treatment of GA3 markedly retards the ripening of tomato, guava, banana, then color changes, and delay the color changes. Pre-harvest spray of GA3 have a striking effect in decreasing the rate of development, maturation, ripening of party fruits, lemons, and navel organs because fruits will remain on the tree beyond the normal maturity. These are the use of gibberellic acid. Next is alternative options. Many other chemicals also inhibit the ethylene actions and can be used for the delay the ripening process of various climatic fruits. Post-harvest treatment of ethylene vapor to retard the ripening can be useful technique to extend the post-harvest shelf life of tomatoes. Indole acetic acid can be considered as an effective chemical to delay the ripening of fruits. Next is fruit coating. Coating is considered as one of the most popular techniques to prolong the post-harvest life of fruits. Like beeswax coating of mango was for the found to have the longest shelf life with good quality of beeswax. Is an antioxidant with antimicrobial properties. So normally we will go for wax coating. So wax coating, it will increase the shelf life of the fruits and it will increase the quality. But sometimes what will happen, wax is, if we use the good wax means, okay, if we use the wax, it will be harmful for our body also. So normally we will not go for waxing. Wax coating means it will increase the shelf life, but it is harmful for our body. Ethylene absorbent. The waxing, low oxygen, high carbon dioxide, and ripening inhibitors are sometimes combined for prolonged storage life, though un- under endogenous C2H4 is always a problem. Banana is packed in film bag containing KMNO4 to absorb the C2H4. A commercial preparation of this absorbent is called Pudafil. The alkaline KMNO4 on a slices berries on a silicate berries proved effective in complete absorption of C2H4 from banana held in sealed polythene bags. So these are the different chemicals we use to reduce the ripening process of fruits and vegetables. So in that, some are harmful for our body and some are good for our body. We can increase the shelf life of the fruits and vegetables, but after harvesting, just we will eat the fruits and vegetables so they are more effective. If we keep them for some time, we will store them, and after that we will use that. So they are not that much useful for our body as much they are when they are freshly harvested. So whenever we purchase the fruits and vegetables, we have to purchase the fresh fruits and vegetables. So they are healthy for our body. Means storage fruits and vegetables, they are used the chemicals. Sometimes they are using the coating, so they are not good for our body. So thank you all for your attention. Thank you. Good morning to all. Myself Manoj Bundela, Assistant Professor Suresh Gyan Bihar University Jaipur. So today we will discuss about the classification of vegetable crops. So this is a part of production technology of vegetable crop course. So, vegetables, as you already know, the study of vegetables is known as olericulture. So, olericulture means it is a part of horticulture. So, horticulture have three branches. First one is olericulture, in that we will study the vegetables. Second one is fruit science, in that we will study the fruit crops, that is called as pomology. And third one is floriculture, in that we will study the flower crops and landscaping of the different flower crops that we will study into the floriculture. There are more than 240 plants in the world which are used as vegetables. Hence, their classification is essential to understand the nature of the vegetable groups and their homonym and distinctness requirements for the commercial production. What is the common things and what is the difference between that we have to follow? The classification is mainly to show the relationship between the individual plants and to avoid the repetition while describe their cultural operations. Any method of classification systemizes to some extent the preparation and presentation of the materials and eliminates the unnecessary repetitions of some of the principle of cultures. Vegetable groups have been classified into various groups, but the classification based on the cultural practice have been provide to be the best adaptable in the field conditions. No single method of classification would serve the purpose of different groups like agronomists, breeders, taxonomists, and so on. For convenience, the following method of classification are suggested. So first one is botanical classification. So in botanical classification, as we know, they all are the part of the spermatophyta. So spermatophyta have two divisions. First one is gymnospermy and second one is angiospermy. Gymnospermy means ovules are naked, not enclosed in ovary. Angiospermy means ovules in an ovary. Means ovules are present in the ovary, but in angiosperm, but in gymnosperm, ovules are naked. So these are the two classifications: gymnosperm and angiosperm. The botanical name, along with the family of the common vegetable groups, are given here. So first we will discuss the monocotyledons. Monocotyledons means one seed. Only mono means one seed half is present. That is called as monocotyledons. In monocotyledons, first family is Eliaceae. Before that, its name is Amaryllidaceae. So in this family, Eliaceae, three crops are there. First one is onion. The scientific name of onion is Allium cepa. Second one is garlic. Scientific name of garlic is Allium sativum. Leek. Scientific name is Allium borum. So these all trees are belongs to the family Alliaceae, and they are normally grown inside the soil. Next is eradication. So in eradication, one crop colocasia. Eradication colocasia. Colocasia esculenta. So this is belong to the family eradication. Next is Gremini. In Gremini, sweet corn, Gia maize. Sweet corn, Gia maize. It is named to the Gremini. Liliaceae. Liliaceae asparagus. Asparagus officinalis. Asparagus officinalis. Liliaceae. Dioscoriaceae. Dioscoriaceae yams. All yams are belongs to the Dioscoriaceae family. Dioscorea alata. So there is a three types of yam: greater yam, lesser yam, and greater yam, lesser yam, medium yam. These are the three types of yams. Dicotyledons. They are two seed half. Dye means two seeds are present in that. That is called as dicotyledons. Like AGOC. AGOC family. New Zealand spinaches belong to the family AGOC. Tetragonium expensa, scientific name. Next is Eriliaceae. Eriliaceae Udo. Udo belong to the Eriliaceae family. Scientific name is Erilia corotata. Erilia corotata. Next is Cruciferi. Cruciferi, or we can say is a Brassicaceae. So Brassicaceae family normally cabbage, cauliflower, Brussels sprout, Chinese cabbage, turnip, mustard, radish. They are all belong to the family Brassicaceae or Cruciferi. So first, the scientific name of cabbage, Brassica oleracea variety capitata. So Brassica oleracea is common, the variety is different, capitata. For cauliflower, Brassica oleracea variety botrytis. For Brussels sprout, Brassica oleracea variety gemifera. Brassica oleracea variety gemifera. Chinese cabbage, Brassica comprestis variety pekinensis. Brassica comprestis variety pekinensis. Turnip, Brassica comprestis variety rapa. Turnip. Mustard, Brassica gentiana mustard. That is Raphanus sativus. So these are the fam- crops which are belong to the family Brassicaceae. Next is Chenopodiaceae family. In Chenopodiaceae, first one is beet. Scientific name is Beta vulgaris. You can say it's beetroot, Beta vulgaris. Second one is spinach. Scientific name is Spinacia oleracea. Spinach scientific name is Spinacia oleracea. Third one is palak. Beta vulgaris variety bengalensis. Beta vulgaris variety bengalensis. Palak. Scientific name. Next is cucurbitaceae. So cucurbitaceae family, the different cucurbits, gourds and melons will come. So first one is pumpkin. Scientific name of pumpkin is Cucurbita moschata. Cucurbita moschata pumpkin. Cucumber. Cucumber scientific name is Cucumis sativus. Cucumber scientific name Cucumis sativus. Summer squash. Cucurbita pepo. This gourd, Lupha acanthogyla. Lupha acanthogyla. Sponge gourd, Lupha cylindrica. Lupha cylindrica. Snake gourd, Trichosanthus cucumeria. Trichosanthus cucumeria snake gourd. Bottle gourd, Lagineria siciniana. Lagineria siciliana. Watermelon, Citrulus lentus. Watermelon, Citrulus lentus. Winter squash, Cucurbita maxima. Winter squash, Cucurbita, Cucurbita maxima. Summer squash, Cucurbita pepo. Bitter gourd, Mormodica charencea. The bitter principle that is present in bitter gourd is due to the mormodine. Next family is Asteraceae, or we can say composite. So Asteraceae family, first one is Lativa sativa, Lativa sativa, globe artichoke, Cynara scromus, and Jerusalem artichoke. It is Helianthus tuberosa. Jerusalem artichoke, Helianthus tuberosa, globe artichoke, Cynara scromus. These are belong to the family Asteraceae. Euphorbiaceae family tapioca or cassava. Tapioca, Manihot esculenta. Tapioca and cassava is same. Scientific name is Manihot esculenta. They are belong to the family Euphorbiaceae. Next is Leguminosae family or Fabaceae. So Leguminosae means cluster bean, Cynopsis tetragonoloba, Cynopsis tetragonoloba, Indian bean or hyacinth bean. Indian bean, hyacinth bean, or we can say Dolichos bean. That is Dolichos lablab. Lima bean, Bacillus lontus. Lima bean, Bacillus lontus. Kidney snake or French bean, Phaseolus vulgaris. Kidney snake or French bean, Phaseolus vulgaris. Cowpea, Vigna sinensis. Vigna sinensis. Cowpea, Vigna sinensis. Winged bean or guava bean, Phosphocorpus tetragonolobus. Hospocorpus tetragonodorus, winter bean or guava bean, sword bean, Cannavelia gladiata, sword bean, Cannavelia gladiata, methi or we can say fenugreek, Tigonella phainobacum, methi or fenugreek, Tigonella phainobacum. These are belong to the family Fabaceae. Next is Malvaceae. So Malvaceae, the Bhindi, Abelmoschus esculentus. Bhindi have the highest chromosome number 130. Abelmoschus esculentus. Umbelliferi carrot. Docus carota. Coriander. Coriandrum sativum. Celery. Apium graveolens. Apium graveolens. Celery. Next is Solanaceae family. Solanaceae family, first one is potato. Solanum tuberosum. Tomato, Solanum lycopsychum, sweet pepper, Capsicum anum variety grossum, sweet pepper or we can say Capsicum anum variety grossum, brinjal, Solanum melongena, hot pepper means chili, Capsicum anum variety anum, Capsicum anum variety anum is hot pepper chili, sweet pepper or Capsicum anum variety grossum. Classification of vegetable based on the part used means for different vegetables we use the different parts. Like some we use the stem, some we use the leaves, some we use the fruits, some we use the flowers, some we use the underground portion. So based on this, they are classified into the five types. First is stem. In some vegetables we will use stem as a vegetable as a eating purpose, like in asparagus, potato, in this potato, we use the stem. Modified stem is the potato tubers that we use for the consumption purpose. Leaves, so in palak, methi, coriander, amaranth, spinach, and cabbage. In this, we use the leaves for the consumption purpose. Palak, methi, coriander, amaranth, spinach, and cabbage. Fruits like tomato fruits, brinjal, okra, pea, beans, watermelon, pumpkin, chilies. In this, we use the fruits. Flowers. So flowers we use is cauliflower flowers, broccoli and globe artichoke. In this we use the flowers as a eating purpose. Next is underground portions. So underground portions are also different. Like underground roots we use. So roots means radish and carrot and beetroot. We use the roots, underground roots we use in tubers. Tuber we use in potato. Tuber we use in potato. In bulb, onion and garlic we use in bulb. Or yam we use. Corn means in yam. Rhizome, turmeric and ginger we use the rhizomes. Immature seeds like in pea and beans. In pea and bean we use the immature seeds. So this is the classification based on the part used. Based on the method of culture. Means based on the method of culture they are classified into the different types like perennial vegetables. So like कुछ some beans they are in perennial in nature. Greens, salad crop like tomato we use, carrot we use, radish we use as a salad purpose. Cool crops like cool crops, cabbage, cauliflower, nolpole, broccoli. Root crops, in root crops normally carrot and radish will come. Bulb crop, onion, garlic. Tuber crop, potato. Tuber crop means potato. Pea and beans. Solanaceous crop, tomato, brinjal, chili. Cucurbitaceae, cucumber, muskmelon, watermelon, these all are fiber crops like some beans. They are comes under the fiber crops. Or potato is also is a good source of fibers. Oat, herb, greens, or other root crops. So these are based on the culture. Based on the life cycle. So based on the life cycle means they are classified into three types: annual, perennial, and annual, biennial, and perennial. Annual means they complete their life cycle in one season. They require only one season to complete their life cycle. Example like broad bean, lima bean, watermelon, muskmelon, Indian spinach, Chinese cabbage. Broad bean, lima bean, watermelon, muskmelon, Indian bean, and Chinese cabbage. They are comes under the annual. Biennial means those vegetables which complete their life cycle in two seasons. That is called as biennial. Like cabbage, cauliflower, turnip, carrot. So they are called as biennial. They complete their life cycle in two seasons. Third one is perennial. Perennial means those vegetables which complete their life cycle in more than two seasons. They are required more than two seasons to complete their life cycle, like artichoke, asparagus, chow chow. So these all are comes under the perennial. Next is thermo classification. So like there are two types: cool season vegetable crops and warm season vegetable crops. Cool season vegetable means they require the cool temps. They are mainly grown in Rabi season. Warm season vegetable crop means they are mainly grown in the summer season or they are grown in giant season. So cool season crop means cole crops, root crops, bulb crops, lettuce, methi, pea, potato, and winter squash. Cole crop means cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, norcol. Root crop means radish and carrot. Bulb crop means onion, garlic, lettuce, methi. These are comes under the cool season crop. Second is warm season crop. Warm season crop means mostly beans or beans, solanaceous vegetable crop, tomato, brinjal, chili, all gourds, snake gourd, beetle gourd, okra, cassava, summer squash, sweet potato, and yams. These all are grown in the winter season. Warm season vegetable crop. Based on the photo period. Photo period means like short day plant, long day plant, and day nutrient plant. Short day plant means they require the short day condition, means small day means they require the night hours, more night hours and less day hours. Short day means they require only 6 to 8 hours day temperature and 14 to 15 hours night temperature, like soybean and sweet potato. Long day plant means they require 14 to 15 daytime daylight and night light is only 8 to 10 hours. Like long day plant, flowering is induced by the period of longer than the critical unit. Means for the flowering they require the long day condition like in spinach, beet, Chinese cabbage, lettuce and radish. Day nutrient plant means they have no effect of the light. Flower is induced by a period of 10 to 18 hours of even continuous illumination, like in tomato, squash, pumpkin, asparagus, and pepper. They are comes under the day nutrient plant. So these are the three types based on the light. According to the growing seasons, growing season like Kharif crop, Rabi crop, and summer crop. Kharif crop means all cucurbitaceous vegetables which are complete their life cycle during the rainy seasons. They are called as the Kharif crops. Rabi crops means all the root crops. They are mainly grown in Rabi seasons like whole root crop, whole crops, potato, lettuce, which are grown in the October to February. They are called under the Rabi season crop. Summer season means whole melons which are grown under the month of February to May. That comes under the summer season, like whatever watermelon, muskmelon that mainly grown in the giant season or summer season we can say. So Rabi season means whole crops and Kharif season means whole. Method of rising. So there is a different methods of rising sowing. So for in some we have to prepare the seed bed. We have to prepare, then we go for transplanting. In some directly we sow the seeds. In some we use the cuttings we use. In some we use the tuber or bombs we use. So in this, based on this, the direct sowing method. So directly we sow the seeds like in okra, carrot, radish, bean, pea, garlic. In that we use the direct sowing methods. Transplanted crops means first we prepare the nursery bed, then we go for transplanting into the main field. In case of tomato, brinjal, chili, cabbage, and cauliflower, first we prepare the nursery bed, then we transplant into the main field. Vines and cutting. This we use the cuttings we use for like sweet potato, cassava, pointed gourd. We use the cutting for the propagation purpose. Bits of like in some we use the tuber and bombs like potato and yams. In this we use the tubers we use potato. So these are the different method of rising based on this classification. Next is hardiness. So hardy vegetable crop, semi-hardy vegetable crops, and tender hardy vegetable crops. Tender vegetable crops. So hardy vegetable crops means it comes under the asparagus, broccoli, Brussels sprout, cabbage, and garlic. Asparagus, broccoli, Brussels sprout, cabbage, and garlic. It comes under the hardy vegetable crops. Second one is semi-hardy vegetable crops. In semi-hardy, beetroot, carrot, cauliflower, celery, and globe artichoke. It comes under the semi-hardy vegetable crop. Beetroot, carrot, cauliflower, celery, and globe artichoke. Tender vegetable. Tender vegetable like leaf we use. Amaranthus, okra, chili, tomato, cluster bean. These are comes under the tender vegetable crops. So this is the classification based on the hardiness. It's based on the rate of respiration. So if the rate of respiration will be more, the more means very high, high, moderate, low, and very low. These are the five. We are divided into five parts. Very high. The respiration rate is very high, like in case of asparagus, broccoli, pea, spinach. The rate of respiration very high. Second is high. The high respiration rate is bean, lettuce, and lima bean. Bean, lettuce, and lima bean high. Moderate beet, carrot, celery, and cucumber. Beet, carrot, celery, and cucumber moderate. Low, cabbage, sweet potato, and garlic. Cabbage, sweet potato, and garlic. Low. Very low, onion, potato, pumpkin, escort. Onion, potato, pumpkin, escort. Low. Very low. So this is the classification based on the respiration rate. Very high, high, moderate, low, and very low. Based on the forcing. So it's a cool forcing vegetable crops and warm forcing vegetable crop. Cool forcing vegetable crops means asparagus, beetroot, cauliflower, celery, lettuce, onion, pea, radish, and spinach. They are comes under the cool forcing vegetable crops. Second one is warm forcing vegetable crops like pea, cucumber, brinjal, muskmelon, pepper, and tomato. So they are required the warm season vegetable crop or cool season vegetable crop. Same only. Cool forcing vegetable crop and warm forcing vegetable crop. Next is based on the soil reaction, means based on the pH. Like soil, they are grown in acidic pH or moderate pH or alkaline pH. So based on this, they are classified into the three types. First one is slightly tolerant to acidity, like 6 to 6.8 pH. Slightly tolerant to acidity, 6 to 6.8 pH. Example is asparagus, onion, and cauliflower, 6 to 6.8. Onion, cauliflower, asparagus, broccoli, leek, cabbage, 6 to 6.8. Cabbage, lettuce, muskmelon, and celery. These are considered as slightly tolerant, 6 to 6.8 pH. Second one is moderately tolerant. So this 5.5 to 6, 5.5 to 6 moderately tolerant, like carrot, cucumber, brinjal, garlic, pea, chili, radish, pumpkin, tomato, turnip, parsley. These are comes under the moderately tolerant. High tolerant. In high tolerant means high means acidic 5 to 5.5. They are mainly grown in acidic soils like potato, sweet potato, watermelon, rhubarb, chicory. So these are mainly grown in high pH means आप acidic condition water 5 to 5.5 means it is grown in highly acidic soil. So like potato, sweet potato, watermelon, and chicory. These are grown in high acidic soil. Next is based on the rooting depth. Means how much the rooting depth, shallow rooted are there, moderate deep rooted are there, or deep rooted are there. Shallow rooted means the roots are only 30 to 40 centimeters. Shallow rooted. Moderately deep rooted means 50 to 60 centimeter roots, and deep rooted means 80 to 100 centimeter and above the roots will go. So shallow rooted means 30 to 40 centimeter. In shallow rooted crops like broccoli, Brussels sprout, cabbage, cauliflowers, garlic, leek, lettuce, onion, potato, radish, spinach. So these all are considered as shallow rooted crops, 30 to 40 centimeter. Broccoli, Brussels sprout, cabbage, cauliflower, garlic, leek, lettuce, onion, potato, and spinach. Moderately deep rooted means 50 to 60 centimeter. In this, beetroot, carrot, cucumber, brinjal, muskmelon, pea, peppers, summer squash, and turnip. That comes under the moderately deep rooted crops. Deep rooted crop means 80 to 100 centimeter long, like artichoke, asparagus, cluster bean, cowpea, French bean, lima bean, pumpkin, sweet potato, tomato, and watermelon. These are comes under the deep rooted crop, 80 to 100 centimeter. Artichoke, asparagus, cluster bean, deep rooted, cowpea, French bean, deep rooted, Lima bean, deep-rooted pumpkin, sweet potato, deep-rooted tomato, and watermelon, deep-rooted. Moderately deep-rooted beet, carrot, cucumber, brinjal, muskmelon, pea, pepper, scallop squash, and turnip. Thank you. So this is all about the classification of vegetable crop based on their different methods of means different how we can grow the vegetable crops based on their uses, based on their season, based on their pH requirement. So in this all classification, the botanical classification of vegetable is very important. So whenever we will study the botanical classification. Botanical classification is based on their family and their means they are belongs which family they are belongs and what is their chromosome number and what is the part we are using. So this is all about the classification of vegetable crops. From next class we will start the crops. Thank you.